Okay, so today we're going to look at various advanced fingerprint development techniques. And so I'm just going to deposit some fingerprints on these artifacts here. First off, we've got just a bottle here, so I'll put some prints on here. Just getting some sebaceous oils from my forehead and the side of my nose. I'll just deposit them so that we'll be able to process them. These particular items we're going to put into the cyanoacrylate fuming cabinet, which is also known as the Cyanosafe. It's a brand name from a commercial manufacturer. So the concept behind this is for either shiny or slippery surfaces or surfaces that have been contaminated by some other substance, whether it be oil or residue of some sorts that regular fingerprint powder might cause the background would develop as well. Wherever the residue is, the powders will normally stick to. So these techniques here that we're going to demonstrate with the cyanoacrylate or the super glue fuming chamber will adhere more to the latent fingerprints and less to the background development. So this is the Cyanosafe as we described, and it uses the same principle from a commercial standpoint as what would happen if you were going to make a makeshift unit yourself. Making a makeshift unit, you're simply just creating a chamber or a box that is airtight. You're putting a heat source like a hot plate, coffee cup warming plate in there that you can put glue on it in a tart dish to add heat, and adding a secondary reservoir or some other source for elevated humidity, so either a cup of hot water or something like that inside the chamber. And so as the cyanoacrylate is heated, it starts to vaporize, and then in conjunction with the elevated humidity, it simply polymerizes on the surface where the fingerprints are. Much the same with the system that we're using today with the Cyanosafe. It does everything. It's pre-programmable, so it purges the system. So now the items can go in. They can be suspended from alligator clips inside the chamber, and there are two reservoirs inside. There's one that is a reservoir for water, so it will automatically heat and create the elevated humidity conditions, and also a hot plate here that a aluminum tart dish with some cyanoacrylate can be deposited, so it will heat the glue, it will heat the water, it will create a fan system inside to circulate, to keep the fumes evenly circulated throughout the chamber. And then at the conclusion of the process, which in this particular case will be about 23 minutes, it will vacate or it will purge the interior of the cabinet, so that when you're opening the door up after processing, you're not going to get a face full of glue vapors coming at you. So that's kind of the essence of what we're going to do right now. Okay, so we're just going to load up the chamber now. We'll just suspend these items. So we have a sheet with of aluminum foil. This can be used on any non-porous surface. Works exceptionally well for things like guns where there's gun oil on them, or drug bags where there's drug residue on them, that kind of thing. So we'll just have a couple of samples here. We've got aluminum foil, and we've also got a piece of clear acetate sheeting, and put our bottle in here as well. So our three items. So we're just going to fill up our reservoir here with some distilled water. Here we have our aluminum tart dish. So here we have just a small container of cyanoacrylate. So I'll just pierce the lid here and dispense the contents of this small container. See, it's basically just enough to kind of coat the bottom of the dish. Put that in on the hot plate. pulls up the door. It's got 3 locks on it. And then we simply just hit the automatic processor. So it has preset here for 5 minutes. And so we're just going to increase the time. It fluctuates depending on the size of the chamber, the number of items that you have in it. I'm going to set it at 23 minutes, but oftentimes you can process it with a far lesser timeline here. And then start it already. So as I said, what it's doing in the process now is heating the cyanoacrylate on the hot plate. It is heating the water to create the humidity in the chamber. The fan system will start, circulate the glue fumes, and then it will purge it at the end of the process.